My name is Francesco Castellaneta. I'm the director of the PhD program, and I'm part of the research center directed by Ludovic. And actually, today we are here to really, as I mentioned in the email, to conduct an interview. So probably, what first we will ask you to introduce yourself and tell us a bit more.
Well, my name's Abid Hassan, and you can call me Hassan. It will be preferable. And at present, I'm working as a university in my country, that is Burundi University, as an assistant professor, and I'm teaching here marketing science and technology. So in my institutions, actually, my research focus is currently organizational resilience, innovation management, CSR, and also I try to focus on RBV and KBV. So and in 2019 I started my doctoral study at Tongji University in Shanghai, China. But after the first semester, I just completed the coursework of the first semester there, and that was the winter vacation, and starting of 2020. And I just come back to my country, and the COVID-19 pandemic started, the heat was started, and it was enormously actually hit the overall education system. So I'm not exception of that. And even it has been past almost more than 1 year. China, actually the international students are not getting any formal notice when they can come back to China. So, especially my doctoral fellows, more or less their study is suffering because we are not getting any formal notice for going back. So this is the basic reasons. That's why actually I'm looking for another PhD program where I can continue my study. And in my the reason is that why actually I'm looking for another PhD program, because my university where I'm actually working, so my university is actually giving the study leave annually, and they are actually demanding every year the progress report. So the progress report must be on campus basis. So the COVID-19, actually this is a disastrous, and I think everyone is actually suffering from this pandemic hit.
Yeah. Cool. Can I make some other questions because I probably understood it, but not completely. So, because we saw your application and we saw that you are already assistant professor, and so you have a long-term contract with university, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now, the issue is that our PhD program is really designed like US PhD programs where you have 1 year and a half of courses, then you have to pass the exams, you need to make a proposal, and basically it's a 4 or 5 years program, okay? And it's full time, okay? And you need to be based in France.
Yes.
So it's not clear to me whether this is compatible with your current position.
Yes, actually it is compatible for me. I'm available to come in actually France for starting my on-campus study, and there is no hard and fast obligations from my working institutions. I'm
So it
available
means
to
that
come in.
you can stop work during 5 years.
No, actually currently I'm on study leave. My institutions has given me the study leave for completing my doctoral study in 2019. So this is a 4 year study leave, but my working institutions is giving every year. I mean, they are asking the progress report at the end of first year, second year, third year, and fourth year. So this is the way actually my working institutions actually reissue the another study leave. So the thing
Okay,
is,
but even that you have 4 years study leave.
no, currently I have passed 1 year study leave, and now I'm enjoying the second year study leave.
So you are left with 3 years.
Yes.
The problem is that it is not compatible with us.
Actually, if I get another scope for starting my PhD program in France, I can apply in my working institutions that I have started another PhD program in France, so I need the 4-year study leave. So they will issue that on the time. If I get an offer letter from Schema Business School, then I can show that they will reissue another 4-year study leave.
Okay, so I'm not sure I understood the motivation, the real motivation why you want to do another PhD. So I was not understanding very well what it says.
Well, there are several reasons actually I want to start another PhD program. The first one is that I have just completed my coursework because I had started the September intake of my doctoral study, and I have passed only 4 months, and after that I got a winter vacation in Shanghai and I come back to my country, and I haven't get any formal notice to come back again because the COVID-19 is going on. So this is the reason my study is suffering. And another thing is that my current supervisor, he had a very serious illness, so that's why he also suggested me, if I have any option, if I have any offer to look on another PhD program or supervisor even in Tongji University, then I can look on that. So all the things actually is putting me in a way to look on another PhD program. So actually this is the reasons I'm searching on for another PhD program.
So what you need is a supervisor to finish your program, right?
Yes, that is one first reason. Second one is that though the thing is main fact is that the international students, they haven't get any formal or exact date when they can go back to China. It may be to 2022 or 2023, we don't know. We are expecting more than 1 year for this answer, but we are not getting that. So this is actually creating an unwanted time period, and you know, the offline educations or online educations outside the campus is really, it is not a what I can say, it is not giving us the beneficial for what exactly we can get on on-campus study. So this is the reasons actually I'm looking for another doctoral program.
I see. And then after the PhD, you would go back to your institution, right?
Yes.
As a faculty.
Yes, I have to come back to my country because in my working institutions, will open a new department that will be called Innovation and Strategy. So if I have PhD in management, especially if my research focus on innovation and strategy, then I can come back here and I can take the in charge of the department.
Okay. Given your motivation, your constraints, what I don't see is why you want to do such challenging PhD program, whereas actually other PhD programs with good supervisors could help you having your degree and with much more guarantee. I mean, because you know, this PhD program is
Mhm.
the European market is market and American market. So it's not clear to me whether it's worthwhile. So it's not that I don't understand, it's just that given your expectations, I'm not sure the program correct.
Well, I would actually answer these questions from 2 points of view. First one is that I have a few but well standard research track record, and recently I published one of the research articles in top journal that is called Journal of Cleaner Productions as a co-author, and its impact factor is 7.10. So I believe that I have a pretty good understanding and capability to proceed on any research.
That's not my point.
No, that's not.
I believe you, and I know, I'm sure. It's just that is it worthwhile
Mhm.
take such a painful path? Because believe me, it's painful.
Yeah.
It's really demanding.
Yes.
So my what I'm not sure is why going that way, and because given your capacities and your background,
Hmm.
you could take a 3-year program in a university in France or anywhere
Hmm.
and get a good PhD.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Just to restate this, because I also.
Hmm. 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 Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Hmm.
Better paid position, more opportunities.
Yes.
But given that we see very people that we now, well, now this back.
Okay. All right. Actually, my current supervisor, he is very knowledgeable in Chinese language, but honestly speaking, uh, the English commanding and understanding of English writing or doing PhD, doing research under the English environment is a bit difficult for him. I found that. So this is the first reasons I'm not actually feeling comfortable to communicate with my current supervisor because his Chinese he's actually expert in Chinese language, but it is very difficult to him to conduct the international students because this is the Eng English taught program actually. So this is the first reasons why exactly what my supervisor is expecting from me and what exactly I'm giving. So both we are not understanding. There is a vague, there is obscure understanding. This is the first reason. Second thing is that you know if I want to come back in my institutions, I need a quality PhD program. I need high quality publications in the top tier journals because my future career is totally depending on the quality PhD program. So in that reason, I think if I just if I just continue my PhD program with my current supervisor, it will be very difficult for me to to produce the quality PhD program. So this is another
So
reason. Yeah.
yeah, so that's a good point. So just to let me know, why did you choose to go to China?
Well, actually, when I just first started to select the Tongji University, I just go to the the university ranking sourcing. It was a top ranked universities, but I didn't find the supervisors' research interest and uh, their communication language expertise. I didn't see that on the time. But after starting the program, I found that there is a communication gap. So this is the thing. When I just started finding the schema PhD program, I found the research publications from your track record and also Professor Francisco's track record. where I found that, you know, the entrepreneurial ecosystems, knowledge management, and innovation management, those are actually matching with my interest. And I found there are so many top journals. You both have the research track records in the top journals. I found that. So from this point of view, with a thorough research within your within your Professor Franciscus and Professor Ludovic's uh, research interest and their research publications, I have understood that yes, I can start PhD program under your supervisions. Even I also try to search the research interest within the scientific committee members who are holding actually the schema business schools. So yes, I found that they have a very well standard research publications, and I also found that there are several international students they have already supervised and they are also supervising. So from that understanding, I think that yes, if I get any opportunity to start my doctoral study in schema business school, then it will be my quality doctoral program.
Okay. But then, how did you get to know schema, and did you apply to other PhD programs?
Yes, I have already applied other PhD program in Germany and in Australia, but the result is not. I mean the result is not already come yet now. So I found the schema uh, on website, and I went to the the schema is one of the best business school in France, and also I found that schema has several campuses not only in France but also in United States and in China and in Brazil. So there's a very international flavor they have. So their education standard will be beyond imaginations. So this is my thorough research. So based on this research and understanding, I've, I've chosen schema for application my doctoral study.
So to complement what Ludo asked you, uh, you will need to take courses like on advanced econometrics, applied econometrics, economic theory of the firm, advanced topic in management strategy, knowledge-based and
Yes.
innovation, qualitative research, research organization theory. So it's you will have 2 years of courses where we will need actually really help with the level of
Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to research, and to which extent you think that these 2 years of courses will help you to develop new skills?
Okay. Actually, when I started my doctoral program at Tongchi, I have several coursework, and among them, I had the research methodology in management, in organizational theory, and also the research method in marketing management, and also the research methodology in organizational theory. So I did several coursework. I can also, if you ask me, then I can also send my the temporary grading sheet to you, where it is
Yes.
written down that how many courses I have just finished that. So based on that, I can assure you that I have previous understanding on these basic courses. So it will not be so difficult to me to continue or to deal with these courses as well. So I think it will not be so difficult for me.
Okay, yes, please share with us.
Yes.
So can you summarize briefly your research topic and your research agenda so
Yes.
that we can understand better where you want to go?
Yes. Yes. Well, I have sent you basically two proposals, but I will discuss one proposal that is actually matching with your interest. The proposal is that here you can see the topic is that the impacts of disruptive innovation on organizational resilience. So it will be the in the context of COVID-19. So the organizational resilience is very important, not only for the incumbents, but also for the new entrants. But the problem is that every new entrants, they're coming to the industry boundary with bringing the new technological changes, with a new business model and product innovation, and with improved R&D skills. So this disruptive innovation is actually negatively impacting on the incumbent's core business. So now there are previous scholars, they have suggested several strategies for the incumbent's perspective. They can open up new strategic business unit to depend these disruptors. So my point is that I have actually found there's a big gap, because when the disruptors they come into the industry boundary, there is no symptoms, because the incumbents they cannot understand what is the exact symptom. They can find out, yes, this is the potential disruptors. Number one. Second one gap is that I get the motivation from this point. Many incumbents they initially find that the disruptors they can hurt their core business. So based on that, they try to open new strategic business unit to depend them. But after that, it was considered that the disruptors they do not have potentiality to go on their businesses. So opening a new strategic business unit for the incumbents, this is kind of losses. This is a kind of the derail their core attentions. So based on the things, I have proposed that yes, the disruptive innovations this has a negative impact on incumbents business, but my new contribution will be that if the incumbent's business or industry boundary or the rivals they have the strong strategic social and environmental business practices, I mean the CSR, then the disruptors they will not be able to strongly influence their core business, because ultimately the business will be go on or not, that is totally depending on the remaining the interest of the stakeholder of the businesses. So if the stakeholders, I mean the customers, investors, and the outsiders, they are happy with the business practices and the activities of the incumbent business, and they have a pure trust, then it will be quite difficult for any outsider to snatch the business of the incumbents. So this is my actually point. If the incumbents they have very innovative CSR activities, they have a very continuous knowledge management uh, technology and intentions. If they do not have any inertia to accept the new and changes, then the CSR activities will be a very great defensive mechanisms to protect any kind of disruptors inside the incumbents as well as outside the incumbents. So finally, I can say, yes, that will be my new.
Can I just interrupt you?
Yes.
Because I think the question is interesting, but I don't understand why CSR will prevent factors to get in, because basically the lack of attention of incumbents is not based on their myopia or their rigidity.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm. Well,
so for instance, I give you an example.
mhm. Mhm.
So IBM did not adapt in the beginning, not because they were rigid,
Mhm.
but because they didn't see the benefit, because they did not believe that a PC was useful for households.
Mm-hmm.
So if IBM was the top of the world in CSR,
Mm-hmm. Well, I get your point. So in this aspect, my explanation will be CSR. The concept of CSR is not only confined to look on what is exactly happening on the environmental perspective, but also if we look on the broader concept of CSR, it will actually imply that uh, to sincerely or to be careful with the stakeholders. So what is exactly currently expecting the customers from the incumbents, or from the product offerings, what exactly expecting the investors, governments, and other interested parties. So CSR is actually, it is not confined only the environmental perspective. It is also, it is actually broaden its concept to look on everything that is considered to improve the stakeholders expectations. So from this point of view, any changes that is expecting by the customers, that is also a big part to look on by the incumbents. So it might be the technological changes, the customers, they can expect that. Even the most important thing is that the customers, they might have a very hidden or secret expectations. Even they might not understand what is their own expectations. So the incumbents duty or responsibility will be that to understand the secret expectations of their customers, how their offerings can be improved, how their offerings can be over delighted the customer expectations. So this is a research. So this.
okay, I understand. Okay, thank you very much.
No, it is not the part of my current program, because in my current program I haven't started writing the PhD proposal yet. Now it will be the next semester.
Okay. You, at least in this proposal, you were talking about the possibility of using a questionnaire to basically capture, in particular, CSR, innovation, and so on. I'm wondering if you have thought about the possibility of using more secondary data like patents or CSR.
Mhm. Yeah. Yes. This is the prime limitations of this study. It might be because many numerous industries, they do not have a very proper way to disclose the secondary data, especially. So I think that will be a little bit challenge. But I think that the survey questionnaire, uh, it may be a good way to collect the data, because I have selected the sample size from 5 industry perspectives, and my expected sample size will be 500 responses, and I will send the questionnaire to the top level management as well as also the middle level management, where the disruptive innovation is coming from, the decision of their disruptiveness coming from. So I will send the questionnaire to them. So my expectation is that the 500 responses. So I do not think it will be a very big challenge to collect the data if it is not possible to collect secondary data. So I think survey questionnaire, it will be convenient.
Okay. My last question is about your paper on Journal of Clean Air Production.
Yeah.
Um, a few questions. We do not have time, but so very quickly. So first of all, which was your role in this paper? More on the empirics, more on the theory. So yeah, and then I have other few questions. Is what was your revision experience?
Well, actually, when I was working on this paper, our title primarily was designed that the effects of circular economy on economic growth. So that was experimental design, natural experimental design. So when we have just submitted our paper, then the reviewer they have a comment on that, because we do not have exact matching of treatment variable and the control variable. I mean, in this paper we just try to look on the policy that has Chinese government taken in case of spreading the circular economy in western part in China and in northern part in China. So we try to compare the western part and the northern part from 2001 to 2012, where the circular economy was implemented as a pilot project, and in another part it was not implemented accurately. So we just try to look on the comparisons of the impacts of taking the circular economic policy. So in this case we have a problem, is that the cities in control variable, the nature of their economic development was not exactly matching to our treatment variable, I mean the treatment variable cities. So the reviewer, they gave me the feedback, because our research methodology was previously named as a natural experiment, but there is a dissimilarities in the economic development nature of treatment and control variable in our study group. So the reviewer proposed the methodology will be changed. So based on the review, we have changed the methodology that was named as quasi-natural experiment. So that was our experience in this case.
And which is the most important theoretical contribution of this paper?
Well, the most important thing is that, you know, the circular economy, in this case, the circular economy, the theory of the circular economy we have applied in Chinese context, that was not exactly applied in you know, multi-industrial perspective. So we found that, I mean, our results support that if the cities or if the provinces adopt the circular economic policy, then initially the economic growth will not be visible, but at a certain time the economic growth will be uproaring. So this is our actually contributions in many aspects. The circular economy and the theory suggesting that uh, it is actually will not give the instant and initial benefits, but at a certain time the benefits will be, the exponentially it will be increased.
Yes. Very quickly, we do not have time. Which is the core idea to explain the long-term positive impact of circular economy on GDP growth? What do you expect that to happen?
Well, actually,
I'm curious, by the way.
yes, actually, this is actually our, this is actually our core agenda to continue our next research program. So I hadn't the part of this research program, but still, from my understanding, I think that, though I'm not sure because I'm not right now engaged in second research paper with my current supervisor and the fellow med teams, but I think that yes, it is totally depending on the government policy, how the circular economic policies and what are the contents of the circular economic policies is applying, and it is also depending on the country perspective, the political aspects and the cultural aspects, and the overall, the positions of the country in the global market in terms of the business services. So, for example, the Maldives, they have only solely dependent on the tourism business perspective. But in case of France, in Europe, the France has a very good positions in terms of not only in the tourism perspective, but also in several industry perspectives. So their economic growth criteria parameter will not be same as the Maldives economic parameters. So it is actually, it will vary where it is applying. But the positive thing is that yes, after a certain time, the circular economic policy will be beneficial.
I have a question that actually I would not like to ask, but I will be provocative and I will ask. At the end of the PhD schema, if everything goes well, you will have on the table some offers. Okay, and some of them will be much better compared to those that you currently have. Okay.
Okay.
You know, and if you get an offer from the US, it's going to be much better than what you get currently here, and in your current position, what you will get.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky question, I think. Well, actually, for every person's future career development is very important. So I would try to, you know, yeah, I will always, not only for me, but also for everyone, it is very important to look on uh, such kind of offer that can actually help the future career and the future development. So in my country, I will try to, try to contribute my services in my country today or tomorrow. But if I get any lucrative offer from schema business schools or France, then I will try to serve them first, because the French government and the French institutions, they have a contributions to develop my skill, because they are providing a lot of efforts to complete my doctoral studies. So I have also responsibility to serve the French government, the French people. So from this point of view, I will try to serve that. Yeah, after that, I will try to come
Thank
back to
you.
my
Just
country.
for clarity, yeah. Even though you get an offer from UK, which is not traditionally very friendly with France, we are happy to get. So,
Thank you.
Maybe you have questions, right?
Yeah, just a simple query. I mean, how many PhD students are looking for by the Schema Business School in this intake? Is there any limited or specified number of PhD students they're looking for?
Well, number of students, no, but we have a certain number of scholarships.
I see.
So, and
Oh, okay. All right. And another query, Professor, that is, I
but
mean,
we receive around basically, around 60 applications. Okay.
60. Ah,
External and then another basically 10, 15 internally. So the process is really
I see.
selective.
I
But the
see.
fact that you arrived, that you basically were shortlisted for the boundary interview, that means that we have really moved
Mhm. Yes, I can understand. It's very competitive. Yep, 60 applications it's too much. Yeah, and it will be very difficult to choose on the best candidates. Yeah, yeah, I can understand. Yeah, well, Professor, this another query is just a short query. I mean, will the French government allow the international students in the next intake? I mean, the September 2021 intake in on campus?
that we cannot know. I mean, the French government will definitely accept. It's not the problem. The
Mhm.
problem is to what extent there will be students on campus.
Mhm.
So that's more the most tricky aspect. But for instance, even though we don't have online classes at the moment, students
Mhm.
are PhD students, not all students, but PhD students are allowed to come on campus.
Mhm. Yeah, that's fine.
So there is no restriction in this requirement.
Okay. Yes. Oh, okay. That's fine.
So anyway, for the teaching, we are ready for the online. We've done this year. It worked well. Well, we prefer physical teaching, but we are ready for online teaching. And the PhD students can enter in France and stay in France.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Exactly. I'm
That we
excited.
got signed.
Yeah, exactly. Fine, fine. Exactly. I'm just expecting that. I just want to start my on-campus study. Yeah, fine. No, no, it's okay. Thank you. Yeah, it's my pleasure. Yep. Bye bye. Bye bye. See you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.